They claim to represent the 99% of Americans who suffer as the super wealthy get big bonuses and multi-billion-dollar bailouts. Does Occupy Wall Street share common grievances with the Tea Party movement, or is it another socialist front group spawning chaos on a global scale? I'm PJTV's Scott Ott, joined now by my colleagues Bill Whittle from Los Angeles and Stephen Green from Monument, Colorado. Dude, Bill Whittle, millions are jobless, while top execs at bailed-out firms score multi-million-dollar bonuses. Don't the Occupy Wall Street protesters have a point, and don't they essentially agree with the anti-bailout Tea Party?
No, they don't have a point. I'm making my own protest sign here. Here we go. That ought to cover it. It says, "Get a job, you worthless HDBs." And for those of you who don't know what HDB is, H is for hipster, B is for bag, and I'll leave the D up to your imagination. Get a job, you worthless HDBs, you miserable, no-good-for-nothing punks. You've been given everything your entire lives from the moment you were born. You've never been cold, you've never been hungry, you've never been without 24-hour access to information, entertainment. You're blogging about the evils of corporations on your iPad in a Starbucks. Get a job, you worthless HDBs.
Well, now, Stephen, Occupy Wall Street organizers draw explicit connections between their effort and the so-called Arab Spring, and they've now garnered the support of the UAW, SEIU, United Steelworkers, and other labor unions. Do I need to get fitted for a tinfoil chapeau, or is something happening here?
Oh, something's happening, man. It's in the air. You
Sure
can smell it. It's freedom.
Yeah.
Everybody wants it. The youth, the unions, the youth. Yeah, it's all about alternative energy and solar power and sharing and world peace and abolishing stuff. You know, we're against things. We're against bad things like oil and profits and produce that ship from really far away, like from Arizona, or, well, no, Florida. Arizona's not that far away from where I am. And we're going to sit here, and we're going to sit here until the things we're against stop happening and the things we're for happen more of. It's the age of Aquarius again. Even better, it's the age, what comes after Aquarius? Virgo or something. It's that.
You know, they literally are every day having a General Assembly meeting where they talk about what it is that has actually drawn them out there. They're trying to figure out why they're there. Bill, I want you to assume for a moment that these young idealists are merely misguided, perhaps useful idiots, but not consciously part of a George Soros-funded conspiracy to crash the system. Do conservatives have a story to tell them that will connect with their hearts, transform their minds, and win them to the cause of economic liberty?
In all seriousness, there really is a story that conservatives can tell them, Scott. And the story is, get a job, you worthless HDBs. And I cannot look at Steve Green any longer. I just can't. Oh, man. See, I used motor skills and the fundamentals of aerodynamics, things that I learned when I was a kid, when I was working in the planetarium at 13. Get a job, you worthless HDBs. Get a job, you miserable, no-good-for-nothing slackers, you losers. I have never seen such a bunch of whiny complainers in my life. Never in human history have people been given so much and complained about so little. It's unbelievable. The fact that they have to have the protest first and then decide what it is they're protesting, Scott, is an exact inversion of the entire idea of protesting. Protesting is supposed to be the last resort in a democracy. When you say, well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get out there and protest, and then we'll figure out what it is we're protesting, you know you're not dealing with serious people. The kindest thing you can do is mock them into getting a job, you worthless HDBs.
Bill Whittle co-founded DeclarationEntertainment.com. Here on PJTV, he hosts Afterburner and Clavin, Whittle, and You. His trifecta this week looks forward to the massive post-Obama expansion. Well, Stephen Green, the protesters have gathered on Wall Street, but if they really wanted to speak truth to power and conquer economic injustice, is that the right address?
Well, you know what? We're everywhere. We're on Wall Street now, but we're going to go to Washington like JFK did, and New York too. Maybe somewhere like Vegas, that'd be good. And we're going to bring our manifesto with us just as soon as it gets to the reporting committee after the drafting committee finishes it up. But first we need to get the Establishment Commission to work with the credentialing group to get the splitters and the spies out of the General Assembly so we can hold honest votes on each item that's going to be presented by the presenting committee. And, you know, I got to get to work.
Stephen Green hosts Hair of the Dog, the Weekend Blogs, and other stuff here on PJTV. His trifecta this week asks Rick Perry, what's in a name of a hunting camp? Well, you won't find me defending the vultures on Wall Street and elsewhere who have jabbed their ravenous beaks into the emaciated carcass of the American taxpayer's wallet, feasting in the midst of our famine. But who is the real villain here? When the forces that control the government, the major labor unions that lead all corporations in political campaign contributions, when they say they're with you on the side of the little guy, beware, my idealistic friends. While the vultures gorge themselves from above, the maggots gnaw from within. For Bill Whittle, Stephen Green, and the entire trifecta crew here at PJTV.com, I'm Scott Ott.